Hi, so today is October 15th. I've made a couple of videos today. As you may see later on, I will upload these videos later. So this video is strictly about my savings goal of $15,000. You guys, I am at my goal. It took me less than a year to get to 15,000. I will say a couple of things that did contribute to it. If you guys don't know, I'm going to link it up above. I became debt free. I think it was February or March. Okay, and after that, any extra money I made went towards me building my savings. Now, there were a couple of bigger amounts that contributed to me getting to there faster. One being the stimulus check, right? What was that? That was $1,200. Was it 700? And then 500 for the kids. Yeah, I think it was 1,200. Remember, I had the accident with my car. They wrote it off as a total loss, and they asked whether I would like to have them take it from me and get like 2,000. I think it was like 2,600 or 400. I told them no. If I can keep the car, I'm going to keep my car because I'm pretty sure I can get more out of my car right now. So I ended up getting a check for 1,600, and that went straight to that savings as well. So those are some bigger amounts. So you figure right there, that's like $3,000. Is that like 3,000? Let's see. 1,200 plus, yeah, like $3,000. Now let me say this. I had my emergency fund. So this 15,000 does include the $1,000 emergency fund, and that was fulfilled as of I think I wrote it down as November of 2019. I had to keep dipping into my savings account, my emergency fund. I had to get my car fixed like a couple of times. That was like a couple thousand. 2019 was kind of rocky, up and down, but what year's not? Look at 2020. So I already had that 1,000, but I kept telling myself I'm gonna keep my 1,000 saved up, and then everything else that's extra will go towards debt until I get debt free. So yeah, that's basically where I started at. And every month, because what I was doing, I was putting at least 1,000. My goal was to at least put 1,000 away every single month from my paychecks towards debt. Now, obviously, once I became debt free, that extra 1,000 whatever dollars went towards savings because I don't need anything, or I don't have any debt to pay towards. Now, I will say this. I've always been a good saver. I've always been a good saver since I've been young. Money does not make me happy. Money doesn't bring me happiness. Does money get you things? Of course. Now, if you look at what I have and how things look, I'm not always one to upgrade. That's not me. I like to keep it simple. That's my life. I rather keep it simple because at the end of the day, if I don't want to, let's say, work full time, I don't have to work full time and still be okay and take care of me and my son. If you guys are just watching, I am a widow. So I am a single mom of a teenager boy, and he's a wonderful kid. But I feel like he knows money's there to buy things, but money doesn't buy you happiness. And I try to instill that in him. And in my channel, I even give I can't say I give a lot, but I give more than people probably would expect for me not to know people. I do give a lot. I do giveaways monthly. And I feel like because I've always been a giver, I I never feel without. You ever, it's better to give than to receive. The feeling of giving seems so wonderful, but on the flip side, when you give, you get so much back more in return. Whether it's just happiness, it may be double the amount that you gave somebody, whatever. Like I told you guys, years and years ago, I, let my friend borrow some money. And after all this time, they finally, reached out and said, hey, I got your money. And that was that, Now, I spent that money on things for, like, my son. And, just things that me and him may want. So that couple $1,000s is not included in my $15,000 savings at all. But it's just that thought, like, that person is so appreciative and they would do anything for me, I know things are hard, and my whole thing is when I give, I don't expect anything back in return. So with all of this being said, what is my next goal? I really don't know. I think I want to get up to 30,000. So my goal for next year, I don't know if I want to start this in November or what. I may start with this next paycheck. We shall see. I want to get up to 30,000. Now, I told you guys, when I was like, 17 years old, at 17 years old, I had already saved up $32,000. And I know people say, how did you save up $32,000 as a 17-year-old? Well, obviously, I was living at home with my parents. I graduated high school when I was 16, and then I graduated college with a certificate when I was 17. And I was going to buy a car. I had the money, and me being the giving person that I am, and so forth, I was, in return, the person that was selling the car, he was an older guy, and he ended up just giving me the car for free. And that itself, it was like I think it was going to be like $1,500. It wasn't that much, but that was back in the day. That was years and years ago. So that was years and years ago. So you figure that amount of money was a lot. So, because how old am I now? 33? Yeah, I'm 33 years old. Move. No, move. Both of you, move. I think I'm 33. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm 33 years old. And, yeah, so he gave me the car for free. And, that was such a big thing for me. It was just like, wow, my hard work is being noticed by somebody that I don't even know. And, if anybody ever needed money when I was younger, I would give it to them if they would ask. But I remember the time, just as talking about me being a saver, I remember the time when my dad went into my room. My room was in the attic. And I had like a bank stub. When you used to make deposits and you get like a bank stub and it lets you know this is how much you deposited, this is your end balance. Yeah, he ended up seeing that. And he told my mom, do you know this girl got this much money? She was like, yeah. He's like, you never told me. But what ended up happening, as soon as I was like 13 years old, I would join programs. Like where I used to live at, there was programs where you would get like stipends. They weren't much. Let's say $60 every week or every 2 weeks. All of that money I would take a little bit to buy little things like candy. I was always like a candy person. There was like a penny candy truck. And you can get like candy for a penny. Oh, that was the days. But everything else I would just save up. Then that was one program. So I did a couple of those. And then I used to work in the summer. So that was like summer jobs. And I would save that money up. And then there was another program that I did. It was a construction program for kids in high school. And I did that for like 2 or 3 years? I think it was 2 summers in a row. We used to get paid from the program as well, But not just that. In the summertime, we used to build things, and the college used to pay us to help build these things that we were making. So one summer I made like $5,000, and then the following it was another $5,000. So all of this money would just get saved up, and then when I turned 16 years old, I started working at Staples. Shush! Hey, come here. Always get over here. No. So I used to work at Staples, and all of that money I used to save up. I'm staying with my parents. I'm 16 years old. So that's where all the money came from, y'all. You know, money adds up, and I'm naturally not a spender. Now, you may say, Candace, how did you get into debt if you were a spender? That's a whole nother story. Short end of it is my husband was not, he was on the spending side, and it wasn't like an abusive relationship, and yeah, let's just put it like that. And yeah, it was abusive between physical, emotional, financial. I actually was, me and Jamez, we were homeless twice because of him. Like, we had to move and get out. But I will say, and people that know me, that you always had a backup. Like, no matter how hard times come, like, because it used to come about way too often when you're in a relationship like that. Things are unpredictable, and I always had a backup. Like, he always thought he had all my money. Always had something set aside, because I just never know. At the end of the day, you are my husband, but at the end of the day, who's most important is our son, you know. And I have to make sure he's well taken care of. So I always set aside money. Not a lot, but it will be enough to, you know, if I have to go to a hotel room, rent a car, something like that, I could do all of those things, get a taxi. But yeah, there was a so that's kind of my backstory, y'all. And then once he passed, I deal with depression, and 6 months prior to him passing, my mom passed. My father been passed like a couple months after my son was born, and I talked about my depression, but I never had to get on medicine, because I always had like my mom to talk to. You know, not even just about that, but about what's going on in life. And then my husband passed, and we just came down to Virginia, and within like 3 weeks of me and my son moving down here to Virginia, my husband passed away. So we're in a new location, and it was just a lot to bear. Like, I'm doing this all by myself. He's never coming back, and I just kind of went into a downward spiral with my depression. First and foremost, I went down part-time, and yeah, I went down part-time, and I was just spending just to spend. I was spending, eating out, not cooking at home, trying, you know, we're new down here. I want to try different things. And it wasn't even the fact that I was buying like stuff. It was food, basically us eating out way too much. Because once again, I'm not a spender like that. So we're like, where does all this money come from? You know, things got to get fixed on the car, put it on the credit card. You're working part-time, you know, and you figure my pay is not what it is right now. That was, what, 7 years ago. So you figure my pay has increased drastically over the past 7 years. Yeah, I work at the same job, but it's been some increases throughout this time frame. And I live in the same apartment. Rent has increased. My car was paid off like after a year of me being here. Which that was only like $100 and something car payment, because I put a big down payment, like $7,000 down when I got my car. What else? You know, just doing little odds and ends, going to like King's Dominion, eating out there, and, you know, buying Jamez, little things here and there. Stuff adds up. Now, I will say I did get out of debt one time, but then my depression took a turn again. And what this time, versus me getting out of work, my primary doctor at the time, he would allow me to take time off, like a medical accommodation. So here I am taking time off that was going to be unpaid, because once you exhaust a certain amount of your vacation time, you don't have to get paid for those days off. So I was taking unpaid time off, and I was just like, I don't care. Like, I don't feel like working. All of these things, I wasn't getting paid. I wasn't going on short-term disability. None of those things. It was just a medical accommodation, and I used that for years. And to compensate for my lower paychecks, credit cards came into play. And yeah, that's my story, y'all. I guess that's basically it. I guess I started my journey with you guys like 2 years ago. I think it was back in 2018. And I think, yeah, end of 2018 or beginning of 2019. I forgot. I was like, I think it was back in 2018. I told myself, we're going to get out of debt, Candace. This is not you. This is not you. I just kind of went in a downward spiral over the years. And yeah, that's basically what it is. But I'm better now. Over these course of the past 2 years, if you guys been following my journey, um, or the past year itself, I have taken time off from work, going on short-term disability, just getting focused back on myself and trying to be healthy, mentally and emotionally, which is a big part. I think if you don't have that, then everything else kind of collapses with you. Your health, your physical health. Here I am, gained all this weight, being on medications. I'm still on medications, but going through the ups and downs of medications and things like that. But I told myself, Candace, get back to where you were. Get back to where you were. So my plans, I'm sorry about all of that, talking, but I wanted to give you a backstory of who I am, what I've kind of been through. But naturally, I've always been a saver. I'm not a spender. So my plans is I still have like 11,250 left on my student loans. Now I want to get those paid off, but I'm not in a rush for that. I'm consumer debt free, but I do have school loans left. So I'm thinking my goal is to pay that off in 2 years, the 11,250. So if I do that, that will be around $468 per month. And my other goal, I want to get to $30,000. So I have 15,000 right now. And if I want to save up the other 15,000, let's say I put down 12 months, but if I start in November and end by 2021, so by the end of next year, that will be 14 months. So it will be less than this amount that I'm going to state. It'll be 1,250, but once again, if I add on 2 months to this, it'll bring it down a little bit more. So between my debt payments for the year and my regular job, my regular payments for just, per month, between debt and my savings, I'll be putting up $1,718.75 towards debt and savings per month. That's a big chunk, but my bills aren't that high either, y'all. So those are my goals. Will I accomplish it? I'm pretty sure I will. And, if things change at my job, if I take a lower paying job, so be it. Now, I do work at Amazon. I still plan on staying with Amazon. Will I be working a lot to try to meet these goals? No, because I don't want to overdo it. I work at Amazon Prime now, or just Amazon in general, because I used to work at Amazon and Kohl's before. like as a seasonal job, and it was just for me to get out the house, and that's what it is. This is a benefit, just like YouTube money. My YouTube money will go towards it as well. So these are other avenues, or what other incomes will go into my savings if I do any like research or opinion type of things where I get paid money. That money will go into savings as well. Now, of course, I do want to continue what do I say? I do want to continue to, like, have an allowance and have fun per every month, or for what we need. But who knows when this coronavirus will be over. This is my plan. Do I have to stick to it? No. I will say I will stick more to my savings goal versus my debt goal for my school loans. Um because I will always make a monthly payment of like 1,200 $127 is like my monthly payment. I mean, that may go up because I do it based on my income. So yeah, that's just my goals. But my main one outside of the school loans is, between the two, it's my savings. Because you just never know what life will throw at you. And as you guys seen over the course of the years on my channel, that my finances do fluctuate. And I just want to be ready for whatever comes my way. I'm not anxious about it, but things do happen. And yeah. So I will talk to you guys soon. Let me know if you have any comments. Do you guys have any goals, like savings goals? 2021, do I want to do any savings goals, like the 21-week challenge, or 26 or 52-week challenge, or the 5s or 1s challenge? No, not really. Not for me, because I do plan on putting such a large amount already from my paychecks into savings. There's just no point for me to save extra. I will say this, just like I do now from my paychecks, whatever my bonus is. So like this past year, I had a 6% increase. I put that directly into savings. So say forth, if I get a 4% increase this upcoming year, I'm going to up my savings from my paycheck to 10%. Because I was like, you know what? If I didn't have that money before, I don't need it now. So that can go into savings. So that's another thing. And I mean, everything adds up, you guys. Everything adds up. You figure this time around, my income tax, whatever that may be, whether it be 1,000, 2,000, whatever, that will go straight into savings. Last year, 2020, when I got that, my 2,000 something, I think it was 2,500, or just 2,000. It probably was just 2,000. That went straight into my debt. So that's going to be another thing that's going to be different this year. That's going to boost me further along. But yeah, I'm not going to do any other challenges. It's just staying on track with my budget. And yeah, that's it, you guys. I mean, me and my son, we're very simple, so it's not hard. If we want to do something, I know how to budget for it, make changes. Yeah, hopefully I'll get into this in another video, so what to expect, because I really do want to get back into my savings, because I used to do cash envelopes, but because of the whole coin shortage, and not wanting to carry around change, I've just been doing everything on a debit card, on my debit card or credit cards, and then paying it off. But I do like to carry cash to help me stay on track with my spending. But I did have to change that within the past couple of months, and I'm getting better at it. Do I do like some emotional spending? I think we all do at times. Like, you're thinking like, should I have bought that? But yeah, I think that's it, you guys. I reached my goal. I wanted to give you guys a little backstory and let you know what my goals are for 2021. As I mentioned, I may be starting as of November, or I may be starting with the next paycheck. I don't know. Stay tuned. All right, talk to you guys soon. Bye.